Hello, one and all, and welcome to round number one of this Popper Daily event. Our opponent has mulliganed to 6 cards, Tino. And we have a one lander that's a little bit speculative. We do need to certainly hit one more land. We do have an on-color land for the Sun Chaser, and in a pinch we can sack this. However, we only play 17 lands in the deck, so there's 16 lands to go. I'm not sure if we should keep. We do have Galvanic Blast also. I'm going to speculatively keep this hand. I'm not sure if it's correct, but got to make a decision. And I'm going to decide to keep this because it's very close to being solid and serviceable. So now our opponent is sitting on 6 and deciding whether or not to keep. He's opted to play first, as we see. And we will just wait and see what he ends up doing. So, yeah, he keeps on 6. Looks like he might be mono black. And we have yet to fulfill our dreams here. I mean, another one mana artifact can get us one turn away from playing Frogmite. So that's also okay. Like, we have a lot of different draws that will be acceptable. I'd rather not crack this if I have the choice, but I might not have the choice. This could be very poor for us. Witches is not too big of a problem, but just the sheer amount of removal could be. So there's the land. So we actually got there, and now we just need to decide what we want to do. And I think before we we have our land for Galvablast. We could play the Frogmite, and as a cost to cast Thought Cast, we can blow the sphere. I think that's actually fine here. So let's go ahead and do it. But we want to get the Frogmite down first. And we'll draw 3 cards. So pretty nice there. We have Metalcraft. We have 7 cards. I definitely should have looked at my hand count to make sure that we weren't going to have to... He's going to kill this. That we weren't going to have to discard or anything like that. So it looks like next turn, depending on whether or not we hit our land, we're gonna probably play that. We can't play Sun Chaser with without Metalcraft because he can just ping it. We do have Metalcraft here, so I think it's actually fine to play the Chromatic Star and play the Sun Chaser. That's 4 artifacts. So it seems okay. No real reason to leave up Galvablast that I can think of because he's not at 5 mana yet for Grey Merchant. Now, depending on how many of these big creature kill spells, we might be in trouble. So he's actually going to ping this. It's a pretty good use of his removal, but we're just going to have to deal with it. We're going to ping him because there's no reason not to. Pinging his guy doesn't do anything. Now we have a sphere which is 5 artifacts. I think that's actually okay just to play the Enforcer now. We could continue to play the quote-unquote weaker threats. And there's also a possible incentive to counteract a Grey Merchant. However, I think we want to get as many artifacts down. So I think I am going to play the Sun Chaser. It is a weaker threat overall, but we want to soak up the removal. And that's exactly what I'm going to try and do here. We now have 5 artifacts for Mirror Enforcer. He's going to sign in blood, so it looks like he does not yet have an answer. I think he was looking for that 5th land. Okay, so now we're kind of, in a sense, racing. We're racing his board position and his ability to get down Grey Merchants versus our ability to deal damage. And what we're going to be able to do here is attack with Sun Chaser, play Drum, and play Enforcer for 1, leaving up not only double Galvanic Blast, but also leaving up Perilous Research for whatever creature he kills. So I think it's more than fine for us to attack in the air and do that. And I should possibly slow down a little bit, make sure all of my sequencing seems correct, but this does seem okay here. Now, we got to take note about his dead weight. If he plays that Grey Merchant, I'm going to blast it with its trigger on the stack. He'll gain 3. going to play a Chittering Rats, which I think is okay for us. We'll put one of the Galv Blasts back. We can obviously opt to cycle if we want, or we can Perilous Research as well and draw 3, which I actually think is probably the best option. And we can set him up for, if he's trying to double block here, we can Galv Blast. So I think this is okay. I think drawing 3 is fine here. And we can also sack a land, but I think sacking the star is also fine. We have plenty of color fixing here, so I'm not too worried. And this is an incredible follow-up. So what I think I actually want to do is play the Atog first, so that I have access to double Galv Blast if I really need it. And then if he doesn't double block, if he does double block, we can Galv Blast and still play the Carapace Forger. So I'm going to do that. And we can sack the Sphere if we want, or we can just continually leave up Galvanic Blast. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and Galv Blast the Phyrexian Rager, because if he has an Undying Evil, it's not as detrimental to us as if he makes both of our, or one of our cards go to the top of our library. So here I think it's perfectly fine to cast the Carapace Forger off of Springleaf Drum. And he's in a huge amount of trouble right now. I mean, even Grey Merchant, it puts him up to 14. But we can remove it. This is an imminent threat. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. So, yep, there goes our Galv Blast, but that's okay. Oh, he's actually drawing cards because he's really looking for Gary. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, yeah. Yep, he's got Gary, so he's going up to 15. But he does have to block Grey Merchant. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Unless we want to play around Snuff Out, which right now we are, kind of at liberty to do. He doesn't have any good blocks. So here we have a Chromatic Star. I feel fine actually sacking this to see if we can draw into a Thoughtcast or something. And we do, so let's just go ahead and rattle that off. Another Galvanic Blast. So we really only need to get him to 8, which I think is pretty much possible here. So I'll play the star first of all, and we can just threaten to attack. I'll kind of sort everything else out when we get to it. Okay, so he's just going to chump block there. He's double blocking there. So he's taking 7, which will drop him to 7. We don't even really need to... We can accept this trade. And we can also sack the Chromatic Star, because I think we're just going for it here. So I think that's fine. I think we can sack this just to see a card as well. I mean, the only thing that's really going to make us pay is another Snuff Out, or sorry, not another one, but an initial Snuff Out, or a Spinning Darkness. But I don't think we really need to play around that game 1, so let's just try and hit him for 8. Looks like he's F6, and it looks like we got this. Alright, so let's look at what he's playing against us. Some strong, cheap black removal. Nothing out of the ordinary. We see Unearth. It's not really looking to me like we're going to be boarding out of anything. We really just want a high density of threats so that we can have something stick and really, even fling to really get there. Just drawing this off the top with our remaining Atog is a viable path to victory in my opinion. We could board into some more removal, which is an option. It keeps his devotion count down. That's one of his stronger weapons. And we do have Relic of Progenitus, but I really don't see either of these being high impact enough when you compare it to our game plan. I certainly want to keep in our card draw to help us fight him in terms of attrition and a drawn out, grindy, resource heavy, resource depleted, pitched battle. So I can't really see cutting very much here. Pardon me if you guys hear the car alarm outside. We got some Grand Theft Auto going on just outside our door, but let's think about this a little more. We have 90 seconds still. I mean, the only thing I could seriously consider bringing in is Journey, and that would mean cutting Fling or something like that. And I think Fling might actually be a way for us to cheat some of our victories, which basically just means top decking a Tog. We might have this sitting in our hand or something, and he's kind of stabilized the board, but we can just play the Atog and fling him out. So I'm going to try it without sideboarding anything, and then if it goes to game 3, we can decide if we want to change that, particularly on the play. But being on the draw, I can see us wanting to definitely just retain all of our threats and all of our card draw. And our first like 4 or 5 creatures are probably going to just get killed, and we'll be fine with that, hopefully. So yeah, he chooses to play first. Another one lander. This one's kind of similar to what we had. I don't know if I want to test the waters twice, but the difference here is without the Frogmite, we can't bank on another one mana artifact to save us, and we also we don't have like a star or sphere, so it's really not much of a chance of us hitting another land. It's not as strong of a chance. So I think I'm going to actually mulligan this one, even though it looks very similar to what we had before. It's missing some of the things we had before. And this one's pretty ugly, but I think it's better than 5. So I'm going to actually keep it. I don't like it. It's the one thing I could safely say I don't like about this deck is I think some of the mulligans are very ugly, and they make me uncomfortable. So let's see how it goes. And he's just going to sit on removal spell. We could play the sphere here. A Tog's not really doing much for us, especially because we have Fling. I think we may want to consider playing the sphere and passing. I think I'm actually okay with that. We can't really, getting a threat is also okay, but I think we want to save that Atog, particularly because we have Fling in hand. So one of our options will be to maybe fling him out this game. At some point, we need to accumulate more lands. He's just passing, so no creatures yet. And here we have a Sun Chaser, so I think we just throw that without... We could also play the Enforcer, but again, I think he's just going to kill our first couple creatures, and our Sun Chaser's the worst of what we have here. Didn't kill it at instant speed, so I don't know what his hand is looking like at all. Crypt Rats? Maybe he's trying to conserve removal and use a Crypt Rats to wipe our board. Nope, just an Oubliette, which is fine. I mean, like I said, he's going to kill our first few threats anyway. Here's a Thoughtcast we could use, but I don't want to waste our sphere. So I'm thinking I just want to play Mirror Enforcer here for 3. So let's try that. Why not? He's already at 5 mana, so this might just be a game where he has a bunch of gray merchants, and that could really be a problem, actually. So I think I'm going to attack and then play out 2 more threats. Let's attack first. And we'll go ahead and see what we draw. We might change our minds. There's a drum, so we can actually use the drum and do all of this. But I think I want to play the Atog first. So maybe we can race another Gray Merchant. I'm not sure. He'll go up to 26. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Yeah, it's not quite clear. If he goes up to 26, I don't think we can fling him and Thoughtcast. If he makes a sacrifice, probably sacking the Carapace Forger. It's not an artifact, and it's not this giant creature. I mean, he can double block the 4/4s. Ooh, that's gonna help us. That might get us there. Oh, never mind. Atog is going goodbye. Okay, we can draw another one. I'm not sure if I want to Thoughtcast here or put down the damage. We'll see if we draw another creature we can cast. That would be helpful. Serene Heart would be an interesting card to consider here. It's going to 12. Well, there's another threat. I don't want to play nothing here. I mean, we could attack for 8 and drop him to 10. It looks like he's about to gain 8 anyway. So what we're basically facing is the prospect of him beating us outright with 2 more merchants, you know? So what is our best path to stopping that? And I think it's actually finding more action, finding another Atog, finding some Galvanic Blasts. So I'm actually going to Thoughtcast, even though we have the opportunity to play another Forger or to attack. I think this is actually what we want. So this is interesting. 5, 6, 7. So we can attack, play Enforcer, and play Forger. And we may actually be able to leave up Fling. I think we will. 3, 6, 7. So this is pretty nice here. That Thoughtcast paid off. I'm not really interested in flinging to kill one of his guys, but maybe I am. He's got 5 cards. I mean, obviously another merchant does 8 to us. It might be correct to fling, but yeah, it might be correct to fling here. I know it sounds really weird, but if we take 8 this turn, even if we kill a guy, next turn we're outright gonna lose to another fling or to another Gray Merchant. Whereas if we take this out, he goes up to 20. We still have 12 damage we can use. So he will gain 6, and then next turn another merchant, or sorry, we'll take 6, go to 10, then another one drops us to 2. I think I'm actually going to do this. I know it's crazy. I'm not sure what the odds are of us hitting another Atog, but I'm going to sack my tapped Carapace Forger to kill his Gray Merchant, because I think we're at risk of losing to another merchant, and I think it's actually kind of likely that he has one based on what he's played. He hasn't played a lot of removal all game, so I think this actually keeps us alive for one more turn depending what we draw. We draw another Forger that we can't cast without tapping a guy, but I think we're still going to do it that way because we don't want his attack to get in. We are giving him a little bit more time, but this is at least playing around that sequence that I just told you about. If we go to 2, I don't know if we have any way to win either. So maybe that's something to think about. I mean, we can obviously Thoughtcast into some more goodness. Yeah, see, he has a Tendrils. Okay, so he didn't have the extra merchant. He's definitely putting up a valiant fight. Ooh, okay. So now playing around that third merchant is now making us pay because, well, we are at 9, so it's not the end of the world here. I'm going to get blue because it's less likely we're going to draw a third forger. There's a frogmite, so we can just attack. I don't know. I think we just attack him here because a third merchant's gonna beat us anyway, so we won't block. I think we just now we just have to swing for the fences, even though we made some mistakes previously. We just have to hope he doesn't draw that merchant, because we're gonna take his attack, and that sets us up to the third merchant. But we can't really afford to play around that anyway. That would have dropped us to 1, and we're not gonna get anywhere regardless. So. We have 10 on the board, so it doesn't give him much incentive to attack. Alright, so now he goes to 9. So it makes him possibly want to double block. He has 3 cards. Another guy. Alright, this makes things really interesting. Ooh, that's pretty good. I think we just do that now. He's got 6 on the table. He's looking to double block, so I think we want to research now. Using the frogmite, which we're clearly not attacking with. And we'll sack... we can sack the land or the drum, but I think... Oh my goodness. Well, that's pretty awful. We don't need the drum either. So I'll sack the drum. And are we willing to trade one of our guys for Gray Merchant? I think so, because that assumes he's going to go to 5. And that's a place that we probably want him to be. I think drawing those 2 lands was really tough for us. Oh, this is interesting. So he's really... So does he have Unearth, I wonder? Alright, we'll see what happens here. He has a Disfigure or something? No, he's just giving us his whole board. I don't love that block at all, but he may have an Unearth. That I think that means he's flooded, because I don't see why else he would want to buy himself that much time. Oh, because he has Crypt Rats. Well, that would answer the question, wouldn't it? Okay. So here's a Chromatic Star that I do not want to use yet. Because it looks like he's just going to block and Crypt Rats. So I think we just attack first. We both go to 5. Yeah. We used up our research, so I don't think that helps us at all. Let's go ahead and add blue. Okay, so we're kind of close. He needs to whiff. I mean, a Tog off the top will get him. Ooh, Liliana Spectre. Okay, so we're in real danger. This is a super close game, but it looks like he's pulling ahead for sure. Alright, that's fine. Ooh, it actually dealt 2 to us. That's maybe not so fine. Choking Sands does not seem like a good option here. So let's add blue. What do we got? A drum. Well, I don't think we have many outs at this point, especially because he has 1 card in hand and he's got a fresh draw step coming up. So it looks like this is going to be GG. I mean, even a Choking Sands will get us. Interesting choice. Ooh, Sign in Blood. GG. So, Fling there was kind of interesting. We used it once, but it might as well have been a journey. And this time when we drew it, it wouldn't have mattered. But it is one of the cards. It wasn't out for us. Well, I mean, I'm not sure if that's true, but I think the Fling is still good. It was close to being an out for us. Had he not had Spectre, we would have had a Tog as one of our outs. So I think it's okay to keep it in. Trickery hits Spectre. Journey hits all of his creatures. Serene Heart hits his oubliettes, which actually that would have busted that game wide open, but still don't think it's worth it to bring in. So I think we're just going to keep it like this and try and have an awesome hand. We did pretty well for being on the draw and having 6 cards, so keep that in mind. We're definitely playing first. And this hand is actually keepable. It looks kind of jank, but I think it's fine. We're going to see a lot of cards here. I'll start on Furnace, I guess. I think I start with Sphere. If we draw any creature, we can use Drum, so maybe that's something to think about. But I think we start with Sphere. Actually, I guess I'll start with Drum. We have 13 different creatures we can hit that'll make Drum useful. Or sorry, not 13. We have 16. We have the Togs, Forgers, Frogmites, and Sun Chasers. So we'll go a Tog into Chromatic Star here. And the Star just pumps him up for free, and draws us a card, which is why I'm playing it. So now if he has, I don't know, 2 damage spell or Disfigure, we're actually looking okay. I mean, this is looking like a lot of damage actually just on the table right now, but I'm sure he's going to have an Edict. So that gives us the option of whether or not we want to sack this Chromatic Star, and I don't think there's any point in doing it right now. So we'll sack our creature. And I think this turn we're going to Thought Cast. Just a little scared about what kind of mana I use. Guess I'll use the red. So we've drawn 2 red spells already. I kind of messed up because Thought Cast is going to cost 2 now. So I guess I'll play a land. And there's a Sun Chaser. So let's do that. A lot of lands here. A lot of lands. Can't say I like it. And again, Fling sitting in our hand, so this might be better as a Journey. It's definitely not what we want in our opener. Okay. Bajuka Bog. What else? So he's sitting on a Verdict. We're going to play our land in Thought Cast. Don't think we need to sack the Sphere yet. I will, but I'm going to do it after combat. We played our land. So be careful. So how many Thought Casts? 2. So I guess I'm just going to add one of our natural colors. Wow, I'm doing pretty good so far. Alright, so let's see what he can do about this. We're presenting threats. He's a little behind on mana because of this tap land, and he seems kind of flooded. It's a lot of cycling, but he's going to pull out of it. Even if he has, I mean, a Spectre's not too bad. Yeah, all these tap lands are kind of getting him. Not beating him. He's clearly still in the game. I think we're going to see an Oubliette this turn. We might see a creature. The Rats is not a huge concern because we can kind of undo it with this. So we'll see. And a Tog should be a win because I don't see him blocking here. So should we do it first? Why not? Another Drum. Well, not the best draw. Go ahead and play this now. He's at 10. He's going to probably go up to 12, and we're going to go down to 18. I don't know if he's going to attack, actually. We're going to go down to either 16 or 14. And he'll go up to 14. Oh, he didn't hit his land. So now he can double block. He's at 9. And of course, a Tog looks like a win for us. He didn't find that land. He didn't play one. And there's a Galv Blast, so we can set him up for a pretty disgusting block here. So I think that's actually fine. I don't think we need to show him the land. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it this way. He's hoping for a double block, but he's not going to get it. It's fine. I mean, we also have him kind of low, but I think this is a little better for us. Fling doesn't kill him yet, but it's pretty close. Play a land. It's a little better against rats if he has a Spectre. That's kind of tough beans for us, but let's see. Another rats. I think we have to play this. I know Spectre's bad for us, but it's not worth throwing away our just holding that land. Okay, so goodbye Sun Chaser. If he does Edict us now, oh, this is interesting. Because if he doesn't block, we've probably got him. So let's go ahead and attack and see what happens. He's just going to take it, so I'm just going to go for it, guys. Let's hope for the best. He's at 2. Target creature player is my opponent. And we're throwing an Elf Artificer at our opponent. Let's do it. And we got it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back for round 2. Round 2 has begun. We are playing first. We have kept a hand of 7, and so has our opponent. So we're going to play our Chromatic Sphere. And then on turn 2 and moving forward, we're just going to start throwing out 3/3 flyers. So I'm pretty happy with that. Taxian Probe. We could be facing a Nivix Cyclops deck. But we might be too fast for it. We do have 2 creatures that die to bolt. So that's not the best, but oh well. He's already shocked himself once, so that's going to help us out. Delver. Oh, Preordain. Okay, so this will be interesting. Bottom top. Do have a great Furnace, but I still think it's better to play Sun Chaser now. We're not going to do a lot of sacking on turn 3 to make a Tog worth it, so could be mono blue. What the hell is this thing? Oh, okay, interesting. So it could still be Nivix Cyclops deck. I'm going to go ahead and let him hit us with this. I think I'm okay playing the second Sun Chaser as well. And then next turn we can play the Atog. This will also represent Galvanic Blast, which might be a concern for him. I'm not ready to research either. We're in a very good, very strong racing position. So, we'll see how much damage he can actually do. I don't think he can do a lot if he's mono blue. But if he's red blue, then we could obviously take a bunch. But he's pretty far behind, particularly with the probes. Six cards in hand, about to be 7, so that's pretty impressive. Keeps one of them, maybe a land. Okay, so it could be mono blue. Interesting. I don't think this guy's going to do enough damage. I know I've probably said that already, but I think we can race it. He's going down to 7. And then We have a Tog. So we'll see. We're still at 20. We might take... If he casts a Salt Strobe, plays it off of a mountain, we take 10, that's something. I mean, that's definitely a lot of damage. I mean, we may consider even cracking the sphere right now, but to if he does cast a Salt Strobe, but to try and draw a blast. I hope that makes sense, guys. If he tries to Assault Strobe us for 10, there is consideration of cracking our sphere and trying to draw a Galvanic Blast. But we also have this Perilous Research in our hand. Fortunately, there's no treasure cruises to go around. He's probably just going to play a fetch land. I think he is more than one color, yeah. Okay, so not too bad. I think we can beat him. I mean, he might have some mutagenic growths. I mean, we obviously can't block, so... I mean, all that just to do 4, I think we can live with. See his next color. Oh, it might be mono blue, so that's actually a relief. We have a seat already. I think I might just play 2 copies of a Tog instead of playing the research. I imagine we can do this first. We actually have to add red though, if we're doing it. There's a Sun Chaser, funnily enough. Alright, so we'll go ahead and play him. He's got 16 damage to deal. I'd be very impressed and blown away if he's able to do it. So we'll see. I mean, mutagenic growth is a giant growth for him, essentially. He'll need a few of those. Oh wow, so he's playing artifacts. I don't know why he would want to untap creatures. There might be some kind of combo element to his deck. But I'm not sure we're going to be able to find out because looks like he might... Uh-oh. So what's the untap do? This is very combo-y. Targeting himself with that. Okay. You have 2 mana. If he attacks, that'd be really curious. Looks like he's just going to chump block twice. We have 2 Sun Chasers. I think we just give him the full clip here. What land would we sack? I guess we could also research. But then we have to sack a land. That's kind of awkward. We may need to sack a land just to kill his Spell Fist. Let's go ahead and do that. I don't know what land we actually... I don't think we should have attacked first because we want to play the Sun Chaser. I don't know. I'm not sure what we sack, if anything. I think we want to kill the Spell Fist because it's one of his only ways to beat us. So I'm actually going to deprive myself of green. I mean, maybe the Mirror and Spy... I think he's too far... Maybe it's better to kill the Mirror and Spy, but... I'm not sure what the untap is going to do. I'm not sure how many artifacts he's holding. But we can't afford to sack another artifact, so... We have to do it like this. Okay, so it looks like one of his guys is going to bounce a guy. That really sucks. He goes to 1. So I could draw a Galv Blast here off of Perilous Research. I could also try and kill his Mirren spy. Yeah, so he's got some kind of combo with the Helix and the Spy where he just bounces a bunch of stuff. Like he might be able to do it instantly. Yeah, so what he would do is Helix a guy, bounce a permanent, play an artifact, bounce another permanent, play an artifact, bounce another permanent. I think I'm actually going to research. No, I think this is fine. Excuse me, guys. I think we're just going to play another threat and make him have to bounce like a ton of permanents. And that threat I'm going to play is going to be the Sun Chaser number 3. I mean, it's only bouncing non-land permanents, so yeah, we do have the 3 artifacts still. Did buy himself a turn. I'm a little scared. I mean, he can bounce all of our lands if he has the right combination of stuff. I think we just want to load up on Pyroblasts and maybe Journeys as well. If he doesn't shuffle, I'd be very afraid. But he did shuffle. Is that one? We have 4 attackers. No! Here we go again. Oh. Does that do anything? Oh man, he can infinitely do it! Oh no, he got me! Oh, this sucks. So had I cast Perilous Research, I might have been able to win. Wow. Yeah, I know. I have an infinite loop. Nope, I'm gonna make you do it. So just go ahead and do it. So this is an interesting combo I've never seen before. I haven't even seen people discussing this, but it is now it is officially on the radar. I'm not sure if it performed already, but it's going to be in this video and it might be getting a result in this daily. We'll have to see. He's obviously, I think, already 1-0. But this is scary. Thought we had him. So he's just got to do it for lethal. We'll see what happens. So this is basically a 4-card combo. That seems pretty weak. Especially considering a 2-card combo, Midnight Guard, Presence of Gond, is currently not good enough for the format. So, I'm not sure. I mean, and then the Banishing Knacks and stuff, they don't really do much otherwise. We were pretty close to killing him this game. I think we're fairly favored if this is the majority of what his deck is hoping to do. You know, we did have only the Sun Chasers and none of our 4/4s, and we were still only a point short. So there's that. I think we can definitely come back and even the odds, even the score. Looks like he'll just go for 16. He could also bounce one of my creatures, but he's just going to go for it. GG! And there's nothing I think I can do. I will try and see what would have happened had I drawn 2 cards. I don't think it would have mattered. So let's go ahead and start sideboarding. We just want to interact with this combo as much as possible. I don't think we want Ancient Grudge. I think that is probably too narrow. I think we can cut Fling because he odds are he will have some number of counter spells. I think we want as much removal as we can get. We can probably even cut Perilous Research just because it's not really a drawn out attrition game. It's more about him trying to get a combo and us trying to stop his combo. And on that note, I think we could also cut some of our draw just for some journeys, just to get his guys out of there. He does have the Helix, which bounces journey, so I don't necessarily like that. The Helix and Banishing Knack allows him to bounce that stuff. We could play a Grudge to try and catch his, but leaving up 2 mana, it does not really appeal to me. So I think just having, I don't know, maybe we want 1 journey, but him being able to bounce it's kind of gross. I think the 7 interactive spells is probably fine. Journey's okay, but I don't think it really helps us. Electrickery does nothing. Yeah, I think I gotta leave it like this, guys. I could see a Grudge coming in, but he could easily have another artifact. So let's submit like this. I don't think the journeys are actually very good against his permanent bouncing effects. But he is still mono blue, and I think for the most part, mono blue has a tough time beating an Affinity deck, unless he's playing Delvers. So we have turn 2 Frogmite, turn 3 Enforcer. We don't have our color straight. But we do have an interactive spell, so I think we do keep. It's quite slow, but not too bad. And it's not that slow. Threat on turn 2, threat on turn 3 is basically what the deck does. It's just the color division or the color assortment is not really where we want to be. Okay, he's keeping 6. Let's go. Or sorry, keeping 7. He did shock himself a couple of times with Probe. Looks like he's actually going to sack this. So he might have a... Oh. I don't know if the Evolving Wilds are good for him. So this is pretty good. So we can go Sphere into Frogmite, yeah? 3-4. Let's do it. Then we can kill his guy after playing a Mirror Enforcer next turn. It's pretty sweet. Oh, he might steal Sabotage. Okay, no problem. I think we would have actually been more frightened by him countering the Chromatic Sphere. Okay. We can leave that alive for now. And I think we'll play Enforcer rather than busting our star. This combo's the same way. His real combo piece is the 3 mana 1/3 that untaps a creature. He can kill us with the Sage or the Spell Fist. If he attacks... Okay, it doesn't attack. I have Galvanic Blast up. Oh, this is great. So, do I actually crack this first? I don't think so. I think we just attack. just going to chump and draw a card. Okay, that's fine. Ooh, interesting. So we can play both of these. I think that's fine. Probably better than... Can he... Well, hang on a second. If he has a land and the combo piece, he can just beat us. Right? If he has the land... So he sacks the Expanse. He has an island. I'm just trying to explain so you guys know what I'm talking about. That's 3 mana. If he untaps, plays a 4th land, then plays his 3 mana guy. Yeah, I'm just going to pass. He can Helix his Spell Fist and start playing the Lotus Petal. So I have to leave up Galvanic Blast. I don't have to, but I'm choosing to. I think it's a little smarter. I think the main way we lose is just to the combo. I don't think he can actually beat us by racing or doing anything of that sort. So I think it's fine to save ourselves 3 damage and, or you know, spare him 3 damage. Let's see what he does with this. He is deep in the tank. Okay, kept them both. Oh, he kept them both. We're both at 20, which is kind of interesting. Another Jeskai Sage. Alright. Well, I'm still gonna leave up this Galv Blast. Can't be blocked. Oh no. He has 3 cards left. I will attack first. He may just chump block again. Okay. Well, I mean, there's a chance he can protect his combo, but we're going to represent double Galv Blast or Galv Blast Pyro Blast and see how that goes. He's done a decent job of keeping his life total pretty high, but we'll see how long that continues. So we've gone through 2 of his Sages, 1 Preordain. Okay, here's his combo piece. I'm waiting for him to Helix. So once he's kind of tapped out, I can go for the blast on this guy. It's kind of scary, actually. I mean, but the Helix only lasts for the single turn, so. I mean, I don't necessarily want him to untap with all this mana open. He's probably sitting on Hydroblast here or Dispel. There's a chance. I mean, what does he take here? He might take 11, which drops him to 5. I'm going to untap. I think he's sitting on a null, possibly. Then we'll just kill this. I'm going to add a red. In case I draw 2 burns. I didn't. I'll play her. For now. I will attack. He may use the Helix right now. Doesn't look like he will. See if we can get this annul out of him. I mean, it's probably not in his interest to do it. So he still might get us here, guys, if he has the combo and he can protect his creature. But he is at 5, so I think we actually want to target this in all likelihood. So I think we let him have the ponder. I mean, he probably knows he has to play around this, but he can't afford to because we have lethal. So we'll see what happens. I think we were pretty unlucky in the first game. He didn't shuffle, so this is crazy. He's going to ponder again. He's not low enough for me to want to throw a Gal Blast down, so didn't shuffle either. Okay. So maybe he's brainstorming to get a card he wants. And then putting away some bad ones. This seems like a really hard combo to assemble, so I mean he does have the Ponders, Preordains, and Brainstorms to do it, and he's seen half of his deck, so I mean we'll see what happens. There's an island. It's 3 cards. So that's part of the combo. Okay. So he has 2 cards now. So Retraction Helix is targeting the Spy. So I think at this point we want to try and kill the Spy. And if he has an answer, there's not a lot we can do. He may have just been going for it, but he may have a response as well. Oh, doesn't look like he does, so we got the Retraction Helix down. So I don't think he could have any answers at this point. See, there's only 1 card. It's another Lotus Petal. We'll just F6 at this point. And we just attack him for a bajillion. So just very carefully make sure we attack. Alright, evening up the odds. And we may actually want to bring in Journeys, because even if he can Helix the Journey, he can't combo off on us the same turn. So I think it's actually a better play for us to do that. And I'll cut 2 copies of Thoughtcast. The Tog, not the best, but it does pressure him. He can't, we take the guy that's gonna deal the damage. Doesn't have haste. Even if we take the Spy, a creature with Summoning Sickness can't tap. So I think that's actually okay. We'll try it. I mean, I'm not in love with Journey in this matchup, but it seems like the only thing he's really got going is that combo. So it does seem like if we can interact with that as much as possible, I think we can take this 3rd game. So he keeps on, he is playing first, I would imagine, and we're definitely mulliganing this hand. This hand needs red. I mean, it does have answers, but it specifically needs red, and that's a huge weakness. So, and he is down to 10 minutes, so we'll see. He keeps a full 7. And this hand is also quite bad. I'm not sure I want to go to 5. It does have 2 Pyroblasts, but we do need to get red. We don't have any color. It might be better to go to 5 here. We have 12 color fixers in the deck and the 4 furnaces, but actually we only have 8 because drum isn't going to do it for us. So we have 12 sources of red, 12 sources of green. I think we'll keep this one. I don't want to go to 5 against his deck. I think it's too unforgiving. Too punishing, but I could be wrong. Over time, I've been more partial to not mulliganing, especially with this deck. This deck is so bad with mulligans. Ooh, that's interesting. But I can Pyroblast, so I can potentially... This costs 3 mana, so I can just kill his guy straight off. Yeah, that's too expensive. That doesn't seem good. Alright, I think he may have kept an interesting one, but we'll see what we're going to do. We'll see what we draw. I don't know that I want a Forger when I have these Pyroblasts. He shuffled, found an island, found a Petal. And now he's sacking it to make the Spellfist. We find a Great Furnace. So now we're actually fine playing the Forger. Can he combo off next turn? He needs 4 mana. I think we're actually safe to play the Forger this turn. It's just kind of musing over what land to play. I mean, he can leave this up, but we can counter a spell also. So we can counter his guy, his spy, and all that good stuff. Which I think will be the way to go. Try to counter his elusive spy, or whatever, his Mirren spy. Pretty courageous to take this deck into daily events and really see what it's made of. Definitely can't knock the hustle. But I'm intending to win, so I possibly should have played the Great Furnace because now I can't draw Tree of Tales, play Carapace Forger, and okay, he didn't shuffle so it looks like he might be interested in comboing. We can try and counter the Mirren Spy. I think we should have played the Furnace. It was much better. If we draw another Furnace, it's much better, and if we draw Tree, it's much better. Fortunately, we don't get punished here, so we're just going to attack and play Sun Chaser. It was still correct to play Furnace last turn, though. And so we'll counter a Mirren Spy. Other than that, I think he can have this regenerate thing. The winning creature is not the issue. I think the issue is keep, because he has 8 copies of that, where he only has 3 copies of the Mirren Spy. So I think it's more important to stop him from spying on us, so to speak. And we have a decent clock on him. He has seen a lot of his deck, but he only has 4 cards and he only has 3 mana. So I think we're okay here. I'm going to counter it. Now we have an opening to kill that also, but I'm not going to do that. I mean, I might, but it might actually be right while he's tapped out to do so. We have another Pyroblast, so I think it's actually okay here. He can't make 3 mana right away. But he can draw land and counter the Mirren's Pyroblast. I think that's actually okay too, because we can untap and Pyroblast again. I don't think he can combo off. He's very close to lethal damage. We have double Great Furnace, so we'll let him sorry, we have double Pyroblast, so I think we're okay here. I think this actually somehow worked out for us, because we drew a Chromatic Star and we drew a Sun Chaser. So the keep worked out. I don't know if it was correct. The game's not over. We have to think about what could happen here. He could Retraction Helix. I think if he goes to Helix, I will attempt to kill his guy. Otherwise, Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to kill his guy. He doesn't have the mana to regenerate. I don't want him to bounce my guy. So let's get in a fight over this. He could have another Helix. He has a Mizium skin. So do I go for it again? I guess not. I guess we just make him take. I don't know. Maybe we do kill it. Because now he's getting in a situation where he can block. What we want to do is counter this. We're putting ourselves in a weird situation, but I think we have to fight right now with everything we have. It's a really weird situation if he can counter, but... Ooh, do we got it? Do we got it? Please. Oh, man. Scary. Oh, we did it. So now he's going to 2. He doesn't have enough mana to combo us next turn, so I think we got him. Yeah, I think what he's trying to do is just a little bit too fragile because we didn't have that much interaction last turn. We just had the one Galv Blast. And this time, I mean, we did draw all 3 of our Pyroblasts, so that's something to be said about that. So it looks like he concedes. We're up 2-0. I feel good that we can definitely take at least one of the next 2 matches. So let's plan to do that. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello, hello, hello. We are here in round number 3. And we're on the draw. I believe we can keep this. So I think we will. I think we're going to Thought Cast on turn 2 and try and see what else happens. I'm not sure what Pro Playa Slaya really plays. A forest with no turn 1 guy, to me, says hexproof. But I can't really 100% confirm that. We'll have to see. I think against green decks... Oh, it's elves. Okay. I'm not sure how we fare against elves. We do have... What did he get? Island? We do have Frogmite into Thoughtcast, which I think is the best line here. Yeah. I think it's the best option. And what do you know? Some more Frogmites, but we can't... That's only 5 for Enforcer. I think we actually have a pretty good start in comparison to his. I mean, he didn't have a mana ramp dude. And we do have a Tog coming down soon. But what I want to do first is play the Enforcer. I guess we can do both, right? We're going to be able to do both, which is cool. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of ramp here. He might have a Timberwatch Elf. That's something we're going to want to... Oh, wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting that either. Let's attack first. I think we'll go ahead and play the Atog. This is 5, 6, 7. We'll add a red. There is something to be said about getting his ramper off the table, but I don't think that's what we want to do. Sure. This little gal is going to be a problem. Actually, all of them will be, because he's got Distant Melody, so we want to draw a red source. We don't, so we're kind of just stuck with what we have. I think we just bash. Um, and I could see sacking a land. It depends how he blocks. If he doesn't block, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. We'll see what happens. I think we just have to ram and hope that it's good enough. I mean, if we draw a red source, Fling is going to negate. I mean, he's going to gain 4, maybe. He has to block here. 8, 2, 4, 6 plus 7. I guess that drops him to 3. I would not go all in on that attack though. He's not gonna block. 2, 4, 6, 7 drops him to 3. Yeah, he wants to melody draw 4, then make a billion guys. I think we have to leave it for the potential of Fling. So I think we're gonna make him take this 9 damage. He's gonna go crazy on us next turn, but it's not a guaranteed win. If he has a Quirion Ranger with this, that could be a problem. Draw 4 is really good, but it's not insane. So I guess it is insane because he can basically cast everything that he draws. So it is pretty insane. We'll see what we can do. Alright, that's 5. So now he's going to melody for 5. 6 cards. She does not have haste, but he's got access to 5 mana right now. So that's pretty disgusting. If he plays a Nettle Sentinel, it's trouble. If he plays a Hunt Master, it's trouble. Like, there's a lot of things here that could go wrong for us. That's trouble. I'm pretty sure he didn't play a land yet. No, no, he didn't play a land yet. Tapped those with the Birchlore Ranger. Now he's gonna untap. He may Well-Wisher, but we'll see. I mean, the funny thing is if... Oh, yeah, this is gonna get gross. We still might have an 3, 6, 7... And he's going to make at least like 3 more guys here, so he can gain 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. If we draw that red source, it's 14. 15. It's not enough. It's only going to activate her once. Who's getting untapped? So blowing the chromatic star is the thing that's, I guess, the most questionable. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. He's going to play a guy and get an elf. Ooh, not the Timber Watch. That's another Well-Wisher. Well, I think we're probably done here. 3, 6, 9. So you go to 20. It's not... I mean, when he untaps, it's going to be a nightmare. But the fact that he does not have Timberwatch Elf is going to keep us alive for a little bit. And we draw a land that does not help us. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we're going to take 13. I think we have to attack. He's going to gain like 1,000,000. I don't think we can win this game. Maybe we do play D, but... Because our best bet is killing both of these Well-Wishers, him not drawing anything else for the rest of the game. Our attack doesn't really matter when he's going to gain 3, 6, 9, 11, 22, untap one of them, go up to 30. I mean, like, I think it's actually worse for us to go to 7 than it is to put him down a bit. So I'm just going to pass. Yep, I know, it sucks, but he just comboed off on us. I mean, the chances of winning at this point are very low. But we'll do what we can. And he could also do that. So he has 1 forest in hand. Okay, never mind. We don't know his hand at all now. 22 mana, so maybe he's just going to fireball. Oh. No, he's just going to do that. This card's also a huge problem. Oh. Alright, we are gonna lose. Ouch. We do have Electrickery, I think, in the board. We've got some journeys, so we can make things happen here. Let's try and save our clock here. We get to see more of his deck, so that's something. Pyroblast is actually an interesting option because it does stop Distant Melody. He might be playing Hydroblast, so we may want to play that as well. But I think I'd only want to play one. Just gonna tap for mana in response. Yep. I don't know how many cards he drew, but he drew a lot. Oops. Yeah, that guy's going to get us anyway, but he doesn't have haste. We were kind of lucky he didn't draw it earlier because I don't think we would have made it even this far. But he's going to gain 1,000,000 life. This deck is so interesting because to me, when I see it, it seems good. But I've heard multiple people criticize this deck a lot. It has a tremendous amount of game against Mono Blue Delver, tremendous amount, to the point where I feel like that matchup is nearly unwinnable for Mono Blue Delver. But yet I hear people talking smack or talking trash about this deck all the time. Not all the time, I'm being hyperbolic, but anytime this deck is brought up, usually I hear somebody not having some choice words. And it's not a huge part of the metagame, so it's a little hard to say what's going on with that. And he is draining his clock down. So the problem creature is obviously this guy. This guy's probably the biggest problem. Well-Wisher can be a problem, and so can the Priests. So I think the other stuff, I mean, obviously in combat we kind of eclipse. The Birchlore can allow him to get blue. The Ranger can do a number of things. Our start was pretty good, but we weren't putting enough pressure, and we didn't have red. Had we been able to Galv Blast something early, we would have been pretty good for us. So some untapping is going to happen. And he has more than enough guys to take us out. Next turn, not this turn. Most of his creatures have summoning sickness this turn. So I'm pretty sure I can block anything he throws at us. Not sure what we can do here. Probably nothing. I mean, we're showing him more cards, but yeah, this is no good. Alright, we're just going to lose, but I wanted to see if I could at least get a red source, maybe do something, but he has enough guys just to Alpha Strike anyway. So showing him Perilous Research was not really necessary. Just attack with everybody except for your... Yeah. I mean, that's fine too, that'll work. But we have to try, even though it's pretty much futile. Alright, GG. 163 life to -2. So I think I want to keep my threats, but board out of some of this stuff. I mean, Fling can get him, but I'm more interested in stopping his combo, which is basically his board position. So I think the removal is really where we want to be. The Sun Chasers fly over. I think we want a Pyroblast in the mix as well. A Tog, he has so many blockers for it. Maybe we cut a Tog actually in this matchup. I could actually see that being what we want. But I don't think I want 3 Pyroblasts. I think that's too much just for his what he's going to bring in. So we either want the research here or the 1 copy of a Tog. Only 16 creatures doesn't really agree with me. Maybe I'll play 1 blast. Alright, this looks fine to me. We're going to try and manage his board, and then when he goes for it, we'll hopefully have this in hand. I mean, I don't think he brings in Longbow, and I'm not sure that he brings in Spider Silk Armor, so, and that this wouldn't kill it anyway, so. Alright, let's submit. Let's play first. Let's keep. It's a little land heavy, but I don't really mind. He goes to 5. Keeps on 5. We'll start with this. We'll start with the drum. And we'll pass. See what he can do with 5 cards. We are a bit flooded, but that'll make potential a Tog a nice draw. We have our colors, so all we really want is to get some card draw and all that. So he could have attacked first, but I guess he's not so concerned about untapping. He knows he'll be able to. His start is not great, but it's not that bad either. I'm going to attack. Then I'm going to play Enforcer for 2. And I'm going to crack the Springleaf Drum because we can play any of our other creatures at that point. It really doesn't matter what color we add. Ooh, maybe it does. Five, 6. Okay, not enough yet. We did draw our sideboard card, which is not amazing here, but... Okay, yeah, his hand is pretty weak. I think I'm actually fine 2 for winning him with the... He has no attack either. And we have a Journey. I'm pretty fine just 2 for winning him here with the Electrickery. How does he win from here? Can play an island and draw 3 cards. He can try and we can try and give him like a combo block. So I think I play Enforcer first. Let's see if he wants to block. Even if he doesn't, I think I'm going to Trickery him. Because it allows him to not sabotage us. Gleeful sabotage us. So I think that's actually fine. And he's at 10. We can get rid of his next creature, and he takes 11. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we didn't even have to show him the journey. He did mulligan to 5. So this is it. Game 3. This is coming down to the wire. I think I like our boarding here. So I'm not going to change it. His start was a little slow, obviously. His start in the first game was also slow. An interesting choice to play Temporal Spring. That's probably a means of interacting with the Familiars decks by bouncing their land and putting it on top of their library. Alright, game 3 is commencing. And we have a very keepable hand. So let's keep the hell out of this bad boy. He kept as well. Should be a good game. Should be a good game. That's an interesting draw. Man, I don't know what to do with my turn 2, but we'll find out very shortly. Okay, so he's... Oh, this is interesting. He is setting himself up for an electrickery, which I hope we can draw into. I may actually just crack for red just in hopes of doing that. Because he's keeping a one-lander. Oh. Sabotaging us. It's actually pretty good. But we can potentially draw more lands here. And we do, so it doesn't actually do a ton. Just try again. Like he may have another one. But we'll see. Ooh. We'll see. Okay. All on one land. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. So now he's out of range of thingamabob. Electrickery. We do have a Tog, or we can play Sun Chaser. I think we want Sun Chaser. We want to keep the sphere for now. His guys have reach. Tapping everything for 3 mana. Then he's going to untap. This is getting scary. Yeah, he's adding 2 mana just with that Quirion Ranger every turn. No! No! That's a 3/4 reach, guys. How crazy is that? Well, I do think I want to play my land. I think I actually want to get the Forger down. Because we need to start attacking. I mean, we could play the Enforcer. It's a little weak to Sabotage. It's a better use of our mana, though. We can't fly. Alright. Well, this is going to be an interesting game. I'm not sure what we do, but a 3/4 reach is a beast of burden. I mean, we can Gal Blast it. So far, there's not like a huge problem creature that we have to worry about. But his board is becoming a huge flippin' problem. We can trade Enforcer for 2 guys, or he just chumps it. Another Gleeful Sabotage. Awful. How dare you. Oh no, he's using Birch Lore, so he's gonna Distant Melody, which is also a huge problem. Or just play that, which is also a huge problem. So now we actually have to kill the elf before anything. Yeah, this is not gonna work. Not gonna work out. We need to start drawing incredibly live. So I guess I add green here. I'm looking for Galvanic Blast. Electrickery is just a freaking joke. I mean, I could sack Sun Chaser and Electrickery to get his Hunt Master. Is that worth it? Probably. I would say probably that is worth it. He has 8. Yeah, I think we gotta do it. I am gonna play the Forger. We have to somehow race also. It's not looking very possible. So one guy down, one problem guy to go, but I mean, it could be a lot worse for us. Depending what we see, we know one of his cards is Island, so he's 2 unknowns. I think if he was going to Melody, he would have played the Island, but I could be wrong there. The Elf is really a big issue. And the Ranger, and he has 2 Elves, and now I think we're probably completely screwed. So he can Elf twice. Elf twice does 8 twice. So I think we actually just lose here. Holy hell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can only block. Ain't that something? So let's hope he doesn't go for it, but I'm sure he will. Oh, he didn't go for it. He could have killed us. What are you thinking, man? Well, it's not going to matter. Like, there's no draws we can have that saves us. But he did screw up there. So we're going to the 2-1 bracket, which I don't like. It's not my favorite bracket to be in. Pyroblast doesn't do anything here. I mean, so we're just hoping he doesn't. I think we're gonna play Sphere and a Tog and hope that he doesn't attack, like he skips his attack step, and then maybe we can get him with Fling. But that's about it. I mean, he could just Alpha Strike and beat us, but the fact that he's doing all of this, maybe he skips his attack step. It's possible. Nope, not possible. Yeah, looks like he's ready to put this one away. So GG's. It was close going into game 3, but this game wasn't very close. I don't think, especially with that early sabotage. I don't know if that would have made a difference, but GG's, 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 GG's. Last round, last round, last round. We are on the play, but I think we have to mulligan this. We're pretty close to a Frogmite, but the 2 flings and the 1 land kind of sets it apart. So we're going to mulligan. And I think we'll keep this. I believe our opponent could be Delver. So we have a Galblast for the Delver, and we have an Atog. And we have a Sun Chaser, maybe eventually, somehow. Okay, preordained, so still could be Delver. We can cast most of our spells. Bottom top. Okay. And this will be interesting. We would definitely need to draw some fixing, but aside from that, our start is only okay. One thing I've noticed is we have not had those explosive draws in almost any of these games. So that's really kind of strange. Might be something to do with our deck's composition. Might be something to do with don't really know. Can't really say. Just the draws themselves. Here we're just going to attack and not do anything. And we may be looking to bolt a ninja if he flashes in spell stutter. Okay. Bottom. Bottom. Interesting. Yeah, we're just attacking with a 1-2. Pretty soon he's going to get Spire Golem with backup. That's the perfect draw. And I'm not sure. I think we want to wait. Because next turn he's going Golem. Then we can blast it. And that will bait out a counter. We do have 2 Sun Chasers, but I mean, maybe we do. I think we wait. If he is just Delver, I don't think his deck gets better with over time necessarily. I mean, it kind of does because of his mana. We'll go for the blast. Because I want to resolve something. Yep, Spell Stutter Sprite. Oh, no sprites, so that's even better. I mean, he can stop this. But at least it goes on the table. We're not going to attack. Yeah, I guess it's not the best. We'll see. I mean, I think things can pan out pretty well for us still. If he ever taps out, he could be setting himself up for fling. This looks like a ninja. So that's not very cool, man. Yeah, our slow start's really punishing us. Still got 5 cards. We have 4, so there is that. There's a star, which I think I'm okay cashing in. Yeah, I'm just going to do it now as a cost to cast this. And we're going to leave up the white in case the star gets us a land, because he may counter the thought cast. He's going to daze it. Did he bounce an island? Okay, well, I'm going to pay 1. He wanted to tap us out. Now he has another daze. Okay, so he has 2 islands in hand. And 3 unknowns. I think he will board out of daze. He's got another golem. We're probably... Oh, man. So we're going to let him draw. What a jerk. I don't want to sack a land. It's not worth it. Yeah, this is going to be tough. I could use like a white source. Interesting. Not going so well. Alright, well, we have some options here. He knows about the Sun Chaser. I don't think he's going to counter this. So we're going to go Frogmite, blah, 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 Sun Chaser. We're at 14. Yeah, we have more Sun Chasers. There's a chance that Enforcer gets cheaper. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, that's fine. We're pretty defensive. He's going to counter this, but I think that's what we want to happen. Okay, and he has at least 1 island in his hand. I think we may be able to stabilize, depending what else he has. He was using the tempo to his advantage. Okay. Just sending those. I think I don't block. He's probably going to pump it twice and we take 5. I think I don't block. He can make it a 2-3 to kill the Frogmite. We're not quite at trade my Atog. Actually, he makes it a 2-3. We're only sacking 1 artifact. Yeah, next turn we're interested in doing that. We're at 9. Oh. Well. Okay, things are looking interesting. We are going to resolve some stuff. Definitely want to resolve that Sun Chaser, so I think we go Enforcer first. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. He's looking to kill us in the air. Do I want to add blue or green? I guess I'll add green. Beautiful. I think man, I think we gotta try and fling, because he's got 5 in the air. If I play Sun Chaser and he counters it, that's really nasty for us. He's played 2 counter spells. He has 2 cards. Oh, I guess we'll try it. Probably not correct to wait. Cool. He's probably going to snap it, though. I don't think we have any attacks here, so I'm just going to wait. I mean, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, I don't think we have attacks. We're not that close to flinging yet. Didn't flip, so that's good. I think his hand is completely unknown. That's not very good for us. Cloud of Fey. Gush. Gush. Ah. Okay. Well, I can leave up Fling now. Right? Right? We're gonna Thought Cast. We're gonna draw 3 cards, actually. He has 1 card left. We could leave up Fling. How am I winning? Someone tell me, please. He's got potentially 7 power in the air. So I think I need to find, like, what do I find? The Fling is gonna kill a guy. Man, his board is so threatening. Can try and block and fling something after he pumps. He didn't counter it before. He didn't flip, so it's possible he doesn't have a counter here. I think we have to leave up Fling and Sun Chaser. It's so sad, but we'll stop here just in case. Oh, this is so bad for us. Didn't flip, though. Okay, this is fine. We'll take the block here. I could fling the Frogmite to kill his guy. I think his last card is maybe Daze. So that would be a horrible issue for us. So I think we have to just take this trade here. And we have to do this. We're actually kind of hoping to draw another Sun Chaser, so I'm going to leave up white, even though... Oh, he might have Spell Stutter Sprite. Yeah, it's not worth flinging it. Wow, that's actually really painful for us. We might want to fling the Frogmite at his Delver while we can. We can also fling the Atog at a Spire Golem. That uses up a lot of resources. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, we're nowhere close to killing him. So dangerous. I don't think we're going to win this game. It's a gush. So what do we do? How do we get out of this? I think we have to kill a Spire Golem. Oh, this is so bad. So I think we wait for him to gush. I guess I should have done it on his upkeep. Because now we're going to try and fling right now. Okay, that's interesting. So we fling the Frogmite at the Delver. I guess. I don't think this is correct, but we have to do something. We can't take this much damage. Now he's going to gush, but that will also keep him down. I wanted to kill the Spire Golem with Fling. I should have waited. I should have done it on his upkeep, I guess. I didn't want to give him the information, you know? Now he's going to play Golem and then gush. Yeah, we are pretty screwed. At least we're seeing a lot of his deck. Bone Splitter's not very nice, but we can play Ancient Grudge. Yeah, that sucks. I think we're just going to concede here. I guess we'll just make him beat us. As we've been doing with every opponent. This should be an okay matchup. He does have some ways of fighting us. We had a slow start. I mean, he really was pressuring us from the jump. If he just attacks with everybody, we lose. We know he has one island in hand. We saw a lot of his deck. I think he's cutting dazes. He should attack with everybody. Well, I have to block the Sprite, so I will. Pretty conservative attack. I guess he's playing around double Galv Blast. Still gonna make him beat me. Still represent that double blast. Oh, obviously he's going to attack, but maybe we see another card. You never know. All right. We're going to game 2. All right. Yeah, we're still in this. This is a matchup that is definitely winnable. Cutting the flings, we might cut some of the blasts. We want Pyroblast because I think I explained this before. Pyroblast does pretty much everything Galvablast does, but it also does more, which we like. I think we like Perilous Research as an instant speed thing, and we like Grudge since Bone Splitter is one of his ways to fight us off. And it also kills multiple golems, good against counter spells. A Tog is probably very good. I think we keep everything else as is. I think this is pretty much how we do it. We could cut the research. He's not as able to go a long game anymore now that Treasure Cruise is gone, so it could be possible that cutting research is correct. I'm gonna try it. I wanna have a lot of interactivity, and I think either Galv Blast or Grudge is the way to go. We want to turn one way to stop a Delver. We have 6 ways to stop Delver now, which is good. He's going to have a lot of board control, I would imagine. Hydroblasts, enchantments that kill our guys. But I'm not sure if it'll be enough. We'll have to see. Alright, game 2. Let's play first. And this hand doesn't have a lot of action. I'm still going to keep it though. We're going to cycle through some stuff eventually. We've got all our colors, which is one of the things we want to ask for and what we can hope for. I'll start with Sphere because later on Star has more value for us as an Atog target. He keeps on 7. So we'll start with Sphere. No guarantee that we're drawing Sun Chaser next turn, so we don't want to play Springleaf Drum. Don't really see anything, so I think it's time probably to crack at least this. I'll add red. That's the only color we don't have via land. He just seems to be F6, so... Yep, no action yet for us, so that's not good, but maybe we get there. Cloud of Fae. Let's go ahead and add blue. This is kind of interesting. Throw this out first. He may want to sprite it. If not, I guess we just pass here. We can leave up Blast here. And we'll see how that goes. This is his main phase. So he's either looking for the 3rd land or he has it, and he's comfortable playing this Ponder, not shuffling. Plays a land. All his lands match. Kind of cool art. PRM. Player rewards. Okay, just passing. So hopefully we can overload him on threats. Here we go. I think a Tog at the moment is more dangerous than Sun Chaser. I'm going to start with doing the Ancient Den because we have another one in our hand. Oops, I meant to play Sun Chaser first, right? That was stupid. Okay. Yeah, that was really stupid. I mean, maybe this is better. I don't want to play the drum because I don't want him to be able to ninja the sprite back. Man, that was dumb. I don't know. I mean, maybe this is actually better. He's going to snap. Curse of Chains. Okay. Do I want to Galv Blast something? I don't think so. I mean, maybe it's okay. No, we're okay. If we any creature will get us back to Galv Blast. But that is not a creature. That's just another Galv Blast. So he would have cursed the Atog anyway. Now he's kind of got free reign. So this is a little awkward, to be completely honest. He is missing lands, so that's the only consolation we have currently. And he's going to try and find some more of those lands. So I'll just F6. We know he has another sprite. And he found the land, so this is really rough. Ugh. Wow. This is terrible. We have to hold it because we have to play 2 threats. Wow, this is awful. Everything is falling apart. Well, that's a thing also, so let's go. We have to try and Galv Blast the Spell Stutter sprite. It's our best option. Kills a guy. Alright, we are freaking screwed. I'm not sure what's going on because I feel like a lot of our draws have been crappy. So I don't know if this version of the deck is bad. I don't know if we've just been unfortunate. I don't know if we're just not making good plays. I'm not sure what's going on, but and we keep running into these damn super grinders. That doesn't help things at all. Well, see what this does. I'm at 6, so his Spire Golem needs to die. I don't know. I don't know if this guy's a super grinder. I know his ID, so. Alright, that's gonna be game. That is gonna be game. GG's, guys. We go 2-2. So terrible. I hope it has at least been entertaining for you to watch. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you guys next time.